Welcome back to my workshop and welcome back to my garage. This is going to be video number 5 in my Pango Music Flying V kit that we've been working on. And what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to start the level sand and polish process on the body. As a reminder, this video is sponsored by Pango Music. I've got a link in the description below for an affiliate link, so if you're looking to buy something from Pango Music, go ahead and use that link. It'll give you a discount as well as it helps support the channel. So please click like, click subscribe. That way you can follow along with what I'm doing on the channel, and your support is very much appreciated. The finish is definitely ready now to do the level sand and polish on it. I can take my fingernail and press into the finish and it does not leave a mark at all, so it's a good hard finish. This has been curing now for a month. It's looking really good initially with no sanding yet to be done on it. To do the level sand and polish, what we're going to start with is we're going to use Super Aslix paper. I'm not going to use wet and dry paper on this. The Super Aslix is a dry sand system. I'm going to be starting off with the 600K sheets and then moving up to 800, 1000, and 1200K sheets. So basically what I'm going to want to do here is I want to just be careful sanding because, you know, it's not the thickest of finishes and I don't want to burn through the finish. So I'm just going to take and I'm just going to start sanding this. The good thing about this is I got the binding, so I really don't have to worry about sanding through on the corner here. Don't know if you can see this on here or not. If you see, you can see that how it's dulling, but there are some still some shiny spots. That's telling me that I haven't sanded down as much yet to get all of it done. But basically what you want to do is you want to just sand it and progress up through the grits until there's no shiny spots left on the guitar. That means you've got a level finish and it's going to look good once you polish it. The great thing about this paper is you can see it does not bind up at all. If it does get a little bit on it, you just give it a rub on the towel and it comes right off. I am using a hard interface pad underneath here. That way it doesn't dip around the edges a lot, but I want to stay as far away I want to stay off the edges as much as possible when I'm allowed to. Keep in mind most of this is going to be covered under the pick guard as well. And a good thing to do also is wipe it off when you're doing your sanding as well. That way you can tell, like I can see now there's a lot less white spots here. So I'm getting better. I'm about ready to switch up to a different grade of paper for the front. Flip this over and do the back. I'm going to go ahead and continue to sand off camera for a little while. You don't need to watch me doing all this sanding, but I'm going to go ahead and sand off camera and I'll bring you back when I'm closer to the end. I've went up progressively sanding this smoother and smoother. I started with 600, I went to 800, 1000, 1200, and now I'm at 1500. I'll just finish this off. And as you can see, as I hit this now, don't know if you can see how well you can see that, but I'm going to run this 1500 over it so you can get an idea. And I'm not pressing down super hard with this. I'm just moderate pressure. It's a fine balance when you're doing your level sand because you don't want to burn through your finish. So you want to be super careful as you're sanding it, but you also want to get it as smooth as possible before you polish. That way you're going to have that nice deep shine to it. But as you can see, if you look at that there, trying to hit that at an angle, most of the light spots have gone. I still got a couple right here. I do have a small flaw right here. The finish, the lacquer actually hit it when I was doing the clear, and I hit it too close, and what it did is it kind of burned through everything right down to the color, so I'm not going to get that out. Luckily, it's going to be covered mostly by the pickup ring, so you won't see most of it. On the sides, what I use is a combination of this smaller sanding block. That way I have a nice firm pad on it to where I don't roll around the edges. And then I've also got a soft sanding that I can get those edges with, and the contours right here where the neck and the body meet. I can definitely feel the smoothness on it now as I handle the body. It is so much smoother now with this going up through the grits than it was before I started, so this thing is going to come out really nice. So that's looking really, really good. Still a couple shiny spots right in here that I'm working on getting out. And I'm happy to do this with the higher grit paper because it removes less of the finish. That way I reduce my chances of burning through here. One area that you really want to be careful of is when you're doing the headstock. It is so easy to burn through because you've got that very sharp edge right there. So you want to be as careful as possible when you're working on the headstock so you don't burn through the finish. So I've got the body sanded up to 1500 grit. It is nice and smooth now, and we're ready to start the polishing process. What I'm going to be using for polish is just the Stumac color tone polish. I've got medium compound because it is smooth, so I don't need to go with an aggressive compound. And then I've got swirl remover that I'm going to do on top of it. I'm going to go ahead and use my buffing pad on my drill for most of the flat surfaces, but the smaller areas, like the headstock and the sides of the guitar and the contours, I'm going to actually polish those by hand because I don't want to take the chance of burning through. And we're just going to put some polish on here. And a little bit on the pad as well, so we don't have dry pad going on it. Then I'm just going to use a nice microfiber towel to buff that off. Of course, it's still going to get a coat of swirl remover as well. But as you can see, that's starting to come out really nice. Let's go ahead and get the back while we got the drill. Yeah, the back's polishing up super nice as well. So as you can see, that's looking really good as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just do the rest of this off camera. This bit here I'm going to be doing by hand. The back of the neck and everything I'll do by hand as well. And I'll bring you back once I'm closer to the finish. All right, so this is looking pretty good with the polish on it. I got the front and the back polished up. Also got the neck nice and polished. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some swirl remover, and that's just more of a very fine polish. Some of the swirl remover on here. And this I'm just going to do by hand to give you an idea of what's going to happen with this. So you can see I've got a nice amount on there. And I'm just going to use this and polish it in. And then I will buff this off with the buffing wheel on the drill. Now just give this a hand buff afterwards to get any of the stuff that might have spread off still. If anything was still wet. That's coming out. It's just super, super nice right there. So here it is, all polished up. It's coming out super nice. It's a nice finish. Really grabs that metallic in there. Let's see if this catches the sunlight for you to get an idea of what this is going to look like. So that's going to wrap up this video. The finish came out really nice. I'm really happy with the way that candy apple red came out with the Oxford paint system from Oxford Paint Supplies. So please, if you like what I'm doing, click like, click subscribe, follow along with the channel as I continue to build it and add more content to the channel. But until next time, thank you very much for stopping by and take care.